Oh my god. That looks pretty good. As a kid that grew up in the early 2000s, I think the majority of us all found out about this guy the exact same way. Who are you? Probably a pretty fair statement to say that when you line up the long list of Nintendo franchises from, you know, Golden Boy Mario to the rotting corpse known as F-Zero, you're gonna find the Mother games a lot closer to the corpse. Mother, or as it's more known as in the US, Earthbound, is a pretty well-acclaimed RPG series with the last game releasing back in 2006. So, you know, rotting corpse. But here's the thing. The Mother games are weird. Like, okay, I get it, right? Every single video game has some kind of cult following. If you look hard enough, you can even find a Star Fox fan still trying to convince you that this game was not a war crime. Which it was. But the Mother series, to me, and I think to a lot of people, is in this really weird spot where even though it's getting zero support from its developers, the influence of the series is unbelievable. And me personally, I've never played it. Okay, it's time for my favorite part of every single RPG game. The fork in the road that every single player needs to face. Do I call them the canon names? Or do I obliterate all possible immersion and name the main character Poop Fart? For the sake of the experience, I'm going to restrain myself. Now we gotta tell them my favorite food. I like mac and cheese. And finally, we have to tell them our favorite thing. I wanted to make it friends, but some absolute psychopath at Nintendo decided that all text in this game has a 6-character limit. So I just went with pals. And finally, after all of that naming, it's time to begin our Earthbound adventure. Was that a fucking meteor? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ness, a totally normal 13-year-old boy who also has psychic powers, and it's never going to be explained. You just have to live with it. For some inexplicable reason, after hearing a massive meteor crash into Earth in the middle of the night, Ness decides it's his responsibility to go see what's going on. But uh-oh, Mom's awake. There's no way she's gonna let... Oh no, she's completely fine with it. You are a terrible mother. However, after walking around a little bit, checking out the scene, being told to go away by multiple police officers, I decided I should probably just go home. And so, with the night finished, we go back to bed. Who the hell is knocking on my door at the middle of the night? Oh, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our really, really, really obnoxious neighbor, Porky. This guy sucks. A lot. In the chaos of everything going on last night, Porky lost his little brother, and for some ungodly reason, he decides it's our responsibility to come help him find him. So, okay, Porky, fine. Let's go find your family. And so, after beating up a couple wild animals, which, Porky did practically nothing to help us, we make it to the top of the hill. And hey, look! There's his little brother. Okay, lore dump time. So, you see that comet from earlier? Okay, yeah, so it turns out, not a comet. It's actually a time machine, which was sent from 10 years in the future by this guy named Buzz. You see, there's this hella evil alien dude named Gygus, who 10 years in the future takes over the entire planet and everything goes to absolute shit. Hearing about this, Buzz decided to go back in time and tell Ness about it, so, you know, he can do the whole saving the world thing. However, Gygus being the absolute petty menace that he is, he followed Buzz back in time and is now going to do everything in his power to stop you. Okay, are you following so far? Because we're not done yet. Gygus also has the ability to make living things go insane and become hella evil. So, you know, not the most preferable situation. So everyone's slowly going insane, and the only ones that can save them are apparently Ness and like 3 other 13-year-olds. However, luckily, Buzz also offers to accompany us on this journey. Unfortunately, Porky's mom kills him. Rest in peace, Buzz. It was cool like the 5 minutes that I knew you. But hey, at least in his dying breath, Buzz gives us this little device called the Sound Stone. And apparently, if we find these things known as the 8 melodies and play them with the Sound Stone, we can use them to save the world. How the fuck is music gonna help us save the world? But hey, we don't have time for semantics. The Buzz is already dead. And so... Welcome to the beautiful city of Onett. I mean, this city's really got everything. Burger shops, hotels, a group of psychotic gang members that are beating the shit out of everybody and slowly taking the town over. Okay, maybe not that one. Yeah, so it turns out that some gang called the Sharks are basically taking over the entire city, and the mayor is currently shitting his pants over it. And I know what you're thinking. What are the local police doing about this? Nothing. All right, Ness. Let's go overthrow a gang. So we beat the shit out of a few goons and eventually make it to their big leader, Frank, who instantly pulls a knife on me. However, using the power of a baseball bat, Frank gets his ass kicked by a kid who probably can't even do algebra yet. And finally, with Frank defeated, Onett is saved. Oh my god, is that a tank? Frank, how the fuck did you get a tank? Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. How did a 13-year-old who left his house on a journey 20 minutes ago destroy a tank with only his bare hands and a baseball bat? Welcome to Earthbound? Frank tells us that the first of the 8 melodies are in a nearby cave, because of course he knows that. And so, since we saved the city, the local mayor offers us the key to the forbidden cave that we need to enter to find this first melody, as long as he isn't liable for our death. The adults in this game are horrible, and after beating the shit out of a few bugs and a human-sized ant, Melody 1 has been acquired. Alright, cool, we got it. Let's move on. Yeah, that's a police barricade. So let me get this straight, just so, it's clear in my head. I gotta make sure it's clear in my head, right? Not only are the police of this city incapable of doing anything that a 13-year-old kid is doing, they're also actively inhibiting me? Yeah, so apparently the police chief doesn't think we're strong enough, even though, we destroyed a tank. Here's the thing. I kicked their asses, and just like that, baby, we made it to... No, not that, Twoson. Now, I know you're probably asking right now, hey, Charlie, what's so special about Twoson? They sell bicycles! Oh, and apparently there's a girl who lives here, and she has psychic powers. Bicycle! Oh, shit. Also, the girl got kidnapped. Bicycle! Okay, lore dump time. So, according to the villagers of Twoson, there's this nearby village that's been completely taken over by this cult known as the Happy Happyism. And after hearing that there's a girl in Twoson with psychic powers, a couple of the Happy Happyists and a small, chubby boy... God damn it, Porky. Decided that they were gonna come and kidnap the girl. And since, we've established that not a single living being is capable of taking action, it's up to Ness again. But first, we have to meet up with this dude. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Apple Kid. He's called Apple Kid because he looks like an apple. After randomly walking into his home because, JRPG game, Apple Kid tells Ness that he's working on this grand new invention, and when he's done with it, we should come and get it from him. And so what kind of device is this, you ask? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Pencil Eraser. It's a device that erases pencil-shaped objects. Wow, Apple Kid. That's the most useless idea for an invention I've ever heard. Okay, I need to learn to stop talking. Welcome to the Happy Village. This is a cult. Nintendo game, by the way. The people of the Happy Village are obsessed with the color blue for some reason, and their leader is this crazy dude with psychic lightning powers. But hey, I mean, if Ness can stand his own against a tank, I can't imagine we have no chance against this guy. We might as well go and give it a shot. Well, obviously, we can't take this guy on right now, so let's go look around the village. And hey, look! It's the trapped girl. She tells us that the big lightning god guy has the key to her cell. But luckily, she also has a little thing called the Franklin badge. The thing from Smash Bros. For those of you unaware, it's a little pin that you put on your shirt, and it deflects all lightning. Now, I would ask how this girl got away with holding on to the only thing that could counter the otherwise godly powers of the leader of this cult into her pocket after she was jailed by them. However, this cult also let Porky in, so I'm kind of starting to question the validity of anything here at all. But hey, semantics, schematics, let's go beat this guy's ass. And without his lightning powers, yeah, he's kind of pathetic. I like this fight a lot, because the second he realizes that he can't hurt you with his lightning, he just starts smacking you with a paintbrush. And, like, I have to give him some credit for the effort. All right, cult defeated. Let's go free the girl now. This is Paula. Cute girl. Hits like a fucking tank. After doing 30 minutes of grinding, of course. Yeah, so like Ness, Paula also has psychic powers. But while Ness has a lot more supportive abilities, and then also, like, 1 or 2 big damaging AoE abilities, Paula has an arsenal. This is something I really adore about this game. The way Earthbound decided to make all of its characters fun was not by balancing it well. They just made them all unbelievably broken. And so, heading to the nearby cave and beating up a mole man, we got Melody number 2. Okay, Paula, can we get the hell out of this village? It's scaring me. After reuniting her with her family, Paula realizes that she's destined to come save the world with us, and she officially joins the party. But before we can head off to the next town, one of the locals stop us and tell us that Everdread needs... Oh, shit, wait. Hold on. Oh my god, I never introduced Everdread. Okay, all right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Everdread. He is a husky, middle-aged man. This is not me being rude. I'm reading this from the wiki. So why is Everdread important? Well, other than the fact that he randomly jumped us earlier, he also wanted to give us a reward for saving Paula. What was that reward? $10,000. I'm just gonna go out on a whim here, and I'm going to assume that that money was not legally acquired. You know what? I'm not gonna think too hard about it. Let's move on. And hey, check this out. There's some band performing at the Twoson Theater. Oh man, what a cool performance. It would really suck if this band, you know, racked up a crippling debt to this theater of $10,000. Listen, that money was dirty anyways. We weren't gonna make it far with it. This is probably for the better. And just like that, with the Runaway 5 being free men, they offer us a ride to the next town over. And hey, I mean, gas prices are steep, man. I'm gonna take the ride. And with our Twoson journey coming to a close, I'm hoping to see a bit more normalcy. Is that a zombie? Welcome to Lavender Town. Sorry. I mean Threed. After a quick meeting with the Zombie Relief Corps, it seems that everything is completely hopeless and nobody has any clue what to do. We are now 3 for 3 for adults being actually useless. I have no idea how society even functions in this world. Okay, let's go try to find some information. After walking around town a little bit, we find out about this mysterious figure named Master Belch. That is his actual name, which, you know, is a great piece of information, except for the fact that nobody has any clue who he is or where he is. So this led into about a 30-minute period of me running aimlessly in circles around Threed, trying to figure out literally anything. Nothing happened until, hey, look, a suspicious-looking woman. Let's chase her and see how... I'm getting a feeling that I probably should not be here. Huh. Well, I guess we lost. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks to the power of what I'm going to refer to as psychic bullshittery, Paula sends out a mental distress signal across the planet to this guy, Jeff, third-party member, lives on the other side of the planet. Yeah, this feels problematic. Did I mention that he lives on the other side of the planet? Well, Jeff, if we're gonna go save Paula and Nez, we got a bit of a journey ahead of us, huh? And so, with the help of our good friend Tony, who we'll probably not see for the rest of the game, we're off on our journey. And so, after hitching a ride on the back of a sea monster, running around a dungeon made by this guy, yes, he actually is important, keep him in mind, and finally we make it to Dr. Andonaut's lab. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Andonauts. Super genius, probably a Nobel Prize winner. Oh, and also a deadbeat father. Yeah, so, turns out, and Onett's, he's actually Jeff's dad. And apparently he dumped him in an orphanage at some point in time. Okay, listen, I get it. I get it. You don't have time to raise a family. I get that, right? I get that. However, apparently, Jeff's dad, he hasn't seen him in 10 years. It took me 10 minutes to walk from the orphanage to this guy's house. Okay, we're gonna gloss over it. We got people to save. Dr. Andonauts gives us this thing called a Sky Runner, and with it, we take to the skies. He did say that it's a little rusty, but I'm sure that's not gonna be a problem at all. Hey. I still made it. And so, with Jeff brought to the team, he unlocks the door to the cell, and we head back to the zombie relief corps, where one of them have the idea of luring all the zombies into the building and then killing all of them. And so we do exactly that. And hey, it works. And with the problem semi-dealt with, we decide to head forward to see if maybe, you know, we can find this Master Belch guy and figure out what the hell's going on with these zombies. Do you guys hear that? What the hell is that music? Okay, listen. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest Earthbound fan on planet Earth or you've never touched the series in your life. You've probably seen this thing before. Now, is that probably thanks to Smash Bros? Yes, but so is like 80% of this game's publicity, so I don't care. And now you're probably asking, hey, Charlie, what the hell is a Mr. Saturn? See, you're funny. You're funny. Nobody has any clue what the fuck these things are. Animals? Maybe. Aliens? Probably. And if I can be completely real with you for a second, that's kind of awesome. Mr. Saturns are kind, generous, peaceful creatures that exist for the sake of existing, and there's literally nothing else to it. And you know what? I think that's pretty swell. And apparently this one knows where Master Belch is, so, you know, that's kind of useful too. I think the best way for me to give you guys an idea of what it's like to talk to a Mr. Saturn is just to tell you word for word what this thing said to me. Base secret. Base behind Grapefruit Falls. Password. I tell Belch man say up arrow, say password, then stand still. Wait 3 minutes. Okay, did you get that? And yes, before you ask, you do have to stand still for 3 minutes. And with that, we finally make it to Belch's lair. Okay, listen. I need to take a sidebar with you guys. Allow me to read to you a direct passage from the Master Belch Wikipedia page. Belch will now make sure you listen to every single part of this, by the way. Belch will automatically heal any damage inflicted upon it from normal attacks, rendering him completely invincible. This is until the player uses an item known as, quote, Fly Honey. By using that item, Master Belch becomes docile and no longer attacks the player. It took me 5 hours to figure that out. This is really hard to admit to you guys, but I feel like I needed to say this in this video. 15% of my entire Earthbound footage is me trying to defeat Master Belch. Let me say that again. 15%! From midnight to 5 a.m. of a single day, I have footage of me just fighting Master Belch. I had no clue I had to use the Fly Honey. Okay, I'm glad we could have this heart-to-heart. No more sidebars. I felt like I had to let you know about this. But hey, I mean, we got the third melody. I'm not that happy about it, to be honest. With Threed back to normal and saved, it's time to head out on our next big adventure to the city of Fourside. All right, I'm sure you're sensing a pattern at this point. I know you're probably wondering, hey, Charlie, what the hell is wrong with Fourside? Actually, nothing. Yeah, with all the chaos and everything going on around the world, it seems like Fourside is pretty exempt from everything. No gangs, no cults, no zombies. This is good. You know, I think after everything we've gone through, after all the fucking things we've had to do, I think we're finally gonna get our break. Let's just go to the mayor's office and just see if he knows where the... Oh! Okay. fucking lore dump time. So, there's this dude. His name's Mr. Monotoli. Mr. Monotoli is a rich billionaire. So, you know, he did what every single rich billionaire does. He got into politics. He's the owner of the Monotoli building, which is a massive building in the center of Fourside. Earthbound Trump Tower. So, Monotoli's pretty controversial. Yada, yada, yada. American politics shit. I don't care. Somehow, at some point, Mr. Monotoli decided to instate Porky Minch, fucking local child, to be his business partner. And basically, through that, Porky is now a rich billionaire and also runs Fourside. I don't know how any of this happened. Okay, there's no way this can get any worse. Oh, look at that! Performance hall. Oh my god, no way. The Runaway 5 are performing? I wonder what our old friends are up to. Surely not racking up a debt of $1 million. Okay. For it being like 4 hours since I paid off their debt, this is really impressive. Listen, the manager lady's right. There's no way we can pay off this debt unless we somehow found like buried treasure or something. So we found buried treasure. Yeah, I'm not gonna bore you with the long story about me going into a cave filled with 6 human-sized moles, beating the hell out of them, and then somehow ending up with a diamond in my hand. But that all happened. Now, listen, is it a good idea to pay off the debt of a group of dudes who racked up $1 million debt right after we just saved them from their last one? Probably not. However, I think they're cool. And once again, with their newly found freedom, the Runaway 5 go off to do Runaway 5 things. I'm gonna give them 8 hours max. Okay, you know what? Let's move on, okay? Too many bad things are happening in this city right now. Let's go on a shopping spree. Yeah, okay, Paula's dead. Paula got fucking kidnapped by an alien. I have no clue where she is. I'm done. Roll credits. Okay, Jeff. Let's go find Paula. However, this alien made the terrible decision of kidnapping Paula and not Jeff. You see, we're reaching the point now in this game where Jeff's damage numbers scale so quickly for literally no reason. Like, this is not a joke. Look, this is how much damage he did. That it killed him instantly. And with the alien kicked out, he tells us that Paula's at the Monotoli building. You know, the building that we just got kicked out of. But hey, I'm sure that wouldn't happen again. Of course it happened again. Well, there's nothing we can do. So, ladies and gentlemen, is that Everdread? All right, say it with me. Lore dump time. Okay, listen, we're officially going to reach the point here where the plot gets a little confusing. So try to hold on. Okay, for the keen-eyed viewers, you may remember back when I was at the Happy Village, did you notice this statue thing? Yeah, so this crazy-looking thing is known as the Evil Manny statue. What does it do, you ask? It makes people evil. So, you know, if you're an alien dude trying to make the whole world fall apart, it's a pretty cool thing to just kind of throw into the fray. And so that's what Gygus basically did. So back after we beat the shit out of the leader of the Happyism cult, our good buddy Everdread over here, he snuck into the village and he stole the statue. Why did he steal the statue? Because a local businessman, Mr. Monotoli, paid him to do it. Hey everyone, this is editor Charlie from in the future. I was editing this part, and upon further inspection, he actually, Monotoli did not pay Everdread for the statue. He actually just straight up stole it from him. Just a correction. Anyways, after getting the statue, Monotoli also becomes evil as shit. Wow, big surprise. And so, with the help of only Jeff, because Paula's kidnapped, and we still can't really reach her, we have to go find the Manny statue and destroy it. Luckily, after realizing how badly he fucked up, Everdread lets us know that what we are looking for is behind the counter of the local cafe. I don't know what that means, but, you know, I have no other leads, so let's just check it out. Yes means no. No means yes. Talk to a local beach bum, and you get teleported across the city. Welcome to Moonside. I think this area is really funny because every character here has completely lost their minds, and everyone just says random nonsensical garbage to Ness. like the entire time you're there. However, eventually after running around completely disoriented for a while, we find the evil statue. Jeff, you know what you have to do. And with the statue defeated, Fourside has been saved and crisis has been averted. I can't help but feel like I'm forgetting something. Well, with nothing else important to do in Fourside, we might as well go backtrack and see if we can find anything else to do. Okay. This guy seems interesting. This is, I'm probably gonna butcher this. Rama? He is a monk. I think. He's not that important, but he has a pet monkey that teaches us how to teleport. So I felt like I had to at least bring him up. Okay, we should probably go find Paula. So Paula is definitely in the Monotoli building. However, you know, we keep getting kicked out. So, thanks to the help of some negotiations, we convince a lady that lives there into taking us up to the top floor. After beating the shit out of a few security robots, we run into this guy, who is a robot that we can't defeat. But that's okay, because guess who came to save the day? That's right, the Runaway 5 did something useful. I forgive them now. And after all that chaos, we finally find Mr. Monotoli, who isn't evil now because, you know, we killed the evil statue thing. And so, he shows us that Paula is okay and safe, and we can finally continue on our adventure. And hey, to make up for everything, he even offers to lend us his helicopter, which, I mean, come on. That's pretty sick. And so, we can finally head off to our next location, Summers. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm getting a call. What? What? Are you kidding me? Porky stole the fucking helicopter. Well, luckily, we just kind of head back to Threed with the Runaway 5, and, Jeff fixes up the Skyrunner. So, I mean, I guess that works. Wait, but, wait. First, we're actually gonna take a detour to Andonauts' lab, because for some reason there's a melody near his house, so we just go get it. Okay, that's the fourth melody. Okay, it's finally time. Welcome to the tourist trap known as Summers, where half the city is a beach and everything is unbelievably overpriced. Okay, so I feel like I need to bring this up. Up until this point, the story and gameplay of Earthbound has been like a nice, fine line. You know, we're going from point A to point B. It's gonna start looking like this. Summers has a lot of random shit we can do, so we're gonna just kind of go around and, you know, figure some stuff out. Eventually, after running around enough, we come across this sailor guy who tells us that his wife has been indoctrinated into a cult. Wait, okay, hold on. This is a second cult, by the way. Okay, look, welcome to Club Stoic, a place where, okay, I'm gonna take another direct quote from the game here. This is what one of the people at Club Stoic says it's about. Everyone stares at a stone on stage and philosophizes. What? Okay, this is off topic, but now that I'm reading the quotes from this place, I feel like I should read this one. This NPC says to me, didactically speaking, seminal evidence seems to explicate the fact that your repudiation of entropy supports my theory of space-time synthesis. Of this, I am irrefutably confident. That took me like 20 takes to say, by the way. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but listen, we convinced the dude's wife to get the hell out of here because this place is just an absolute mess. And as a thank you, she offers to make us one of her magical cakes. Which, hey, there's never been anything bad about taking random sweets from strangers. Oh my god. Do not eat the magical cakes. Do not. What the hell was in that cake? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pooh, the Prince of Doll Lamb, and no, I am not going to make the easy poop joke. Shut the hell up. Today is a very special day in Pooh's life, as it's the final day of his training. And what kind of training, you ask? And with that really gruesome mental training complete, let's go fucking on an adventure. And so, through the power of teleportation, we get our final party member. He also refers to himself as our servant. Let's not do that, Pooh. Pooh has a couple very interesting gimmicks to him. The main one I want to talk about is the fact that he's a spoiled little bitch. What do I mean by that? How do I put this? So, throughout the entirety of Earthbound, you know how there's, like, items and stuff? So, I could give, for example, Ness a new baseball cap, Paula a new frying pan, Jeff another death ray. Pooh, on the other hand, oh my god. Yeah, so Pooh's spoiled ass refuses to use any item that is not one of 4 very specific items that are made for a king. So, thanks, Pooh. Thanks, you little bitch. I should probably also mention, I found this out after I dropped thousands of dollars on items for him. But you know what? We're gonna ignore it. We don't have time. Because we have to sail the 7 seas. Is that a kraken? Yeah, so, there's a kraken in the ocean. It killed everyone very quickly. Okay, maybe we don't sail the seas right now. Okay, hold on. How many melodies do we have? Okay, this video's getting long. We gotta go make some progress. If I was another melody, where would I be? Maybe another scary cave. Maybe another cool abandoned factory again. That could be cool. No, try the shit-filled sewers. Oh, and also, after getting that one, we find out there's another melody in Pooh's backyard. So we swing by Dollam and we grab that one too. And now, with those 2 melodies acquired, we're looking a lot better. Let's go sail the seas. And since we're 10 levels higher, we don't get one shot this time. So, Jeff, I think you know what you need to do. And with that, we make it to our next location, Scaraba. Wait. I sure hope you like mechanics where your character randomly overheats and starts killing themselves. Cause let me tell you something, I sure don't. But after we do some exploring, solve a couple advanced puzzles, and climb through a pyramid where we get jump scared by random paintings in the walls, Pooh finds out that, that whole thing about his training being done, yeah, that was a lie. And so Pooh leaves with his master to go finish his training for real this time, as he's gonna learn the secret arts of the Star Storm. You know, the thing from Smash Bros. Well, Pooh, it was nice having a full party for an hour. I guess I'll see you again at some point. But hey, we don't have time to cry about Pooh. We have to keep exploring the desert. And with a bit more looking around, we come across this thing. This is Dungeon Man. He is a dungeon and a man. He also has the best song in the entire game. Okay, listen, if I can rewind with you guys really quickly, remember that random ass dude that I told you about earlier during the Jeff section that built a dungeon and I told you he was actually important and you had to remember him? Yeah, that's this guy. So I guess at some point since the last time we saw him, this guy convinced Dr. Andonuts to turn him into a living dungeon. Now, listen, I would question the morality of anything happening right now. However, he seems to be kind of happy. So I guess we'll cut him some slack. I can only imagine the absolute grin on the developers' faces as they developed this absolute amalgam of a dungeon. It's a massive mixing pot where they took a bunch of assets from a bunch of random parts of Earthbound and just kind of meshed it together. It's so funny. Listen, this game has had a lot of awesome dumb fuckery, but this has to be the awesomest, dumbest fuckeriest section of the entire game. Anyways, we climb Dungeon Man and eventually we make it to the top where we can actually speak to him. And he offers to join us on our adventure. Now, he's a little big, but come on, guys. We're not going to be mean to him about it. Okay, never mind. 5 seconds into our adventure, he was too fat to fit through the trees, and we had to leave him behind. Okay, you know, maybe he needs to lose a little weight. But before we leave him behind, he tells us that there's actually a submarine inside of him. We just have to do the entire dungeon all over again to get to it. And with the submarine secured, we can finally head off to our next location. I fucking hate this area. Up until this point in Earthbound, I've basically loved every single second of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love 99% of this game. The one thing I do not like is the fucking swamp. Hi, it's editor Charlie again. So I kind of messed up a little bit. For the next 5 minutes of this video, I may or may not have accidentally recorded my gameplay at 360p. I don't know what developer decided to make this area
but I do not like you.
Okay, let me give you a rundown. This area is just like every other area in the game, except it looks like a maze. You move at half the speed, but enemies don't. Deep Darkness devolves into a 30-minute mess of you aimlessly running around, hoping to God you find the right area. And just when you fucking think it's over, is that Master Belch? Like a kick in the dick, the game decides to laugh at me by putting fucking Master Belch at the end of this area. But don't worry, because Pooh comes back and he hits him with the funny move from Smash Bros. And so, after a solid chunk of randomly walking around aimlessly, we beat it. And so, with Pooh now back in the party, we make our way to a nearby cave where we meet the Tenda tribe. They're a lot like the Mr. Saturns, except people talk about them a lot less. They really want to help aid us on our journey, but unfortunately, they're too shy. Yes, this is a real plot point. However, the people of the Tenda tribe heard this ancient tale about a book that if they read it, they would become less shy. Yes, this is a real plot point. And so Ness and gang decide that they need to go embark and find this book to help them become less shy. Yes, this is a real plot point. However, right as we leave the cave, we actually get a phone call. Who from, you ask? Well, it's Apple Kid. Yeah, so it turns out that Apple Kid actually got an internship working for Dr. Andonauts. So it's great to know he actually is fine with housing children as long as they're not his own son. Anyways, the conversation does not last very long because they get kidnapped. Oh, fuck. Anyways, upon making it to the lab, we find that it's been completely ransacked, and the only thing left behind was Apple Kid's newest invention, the Eraser. I want you to guess what it does. Luckily, it doesn't take us more than like 5 seconds to find the secret dungeon where they're holding everyone hostage. So let's go find them. So we gotta beat the fuck out of the boss. Jeff, do your thing. And so, with everyone saved, it turns out that Apple Kid actually knows where this legendary book of curing shyness is. It's at the Onett library. With the shyness of the Tenda people cured, they show us the way to the next dungeon. And I mean, come on. You know the routine at this point. Okay, and just like that, we only got one melody left. Well, there is literally no other option than going down this hole. Holy shit. We made it to Jurassic Park. Now listen, I don't understand why there is an entire country filled with dinosaurs located under the planet. But you know, Earthbound. And after a bit of exploring, we make it to a cave. We do a bit of climbing and... I mean, I don't mean to sound like a broken record at this point, but the fight went exactly like you think it did. And finally, after hours and hours and hours of our journey, we've collected the 8 melodies. Welcome to Magicant, a realm created within Ness's own brain. Everything he's ever known exists in here. His mom, his sister, fucking Master Belch. And as we walk around his mind, we must face the evil that exists within Ness himself. How we do that, you ask? Through the most bullshit boss fight ever made. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, it's time for me to go on a bit of a tangent here. Ladies and gentlemen, this boss is Ness's nightmare. I know it looks like the Manny statue, but according to the wiki, they have zero correlation with each other. And if you want to get out of Magicant and beat the game, you have to beat this boss. How do you do that exactly? Well, first of all, you have to go on a 10-minute journey through all of Magicant, avoiding as many enemies as you can because you don't get any PP back. Then, once you make it to the fight and you start wailing on it, which, by the way, you're the only party member, you have to both deal damage and keep yourself alive. But I'm not done. No, you see, Ness's Nightmare has this little move called PK Flash. PK Flash has a 40% chance to insta-kill its opponent. Oh my god, I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah.
He had a side shield and a power shield. He had both.
Okay.
That boss kind of tore me to shreds. But hey, I beat it. You know, maybe it's my fault for relying on Jeff insta-killing every single boss for the past 20 hours. I'm gonna take a little bit of that blame. And with Ness's Nightmare defeated and the evil cleansed from his body, we are told that the end of our journey will happen at Saturn Valley. And so, we get a bajillion stat increases and become the most broken character of all time. We still don't do as much damage as Jeff, and we're told it's time to finally defeat Gygus. With the help of Apple Kid, Andonauts finishes the Phase Distorter device, which, by the way, he doesn't tell us actually doesn't work yet until we walk into it, explode, and then walk back out. Thanks, Andonauts. Yeah, so unfortunately, the only way they can actually make the machine work is with a material that isn't from Earth, and the only way you can actually obtain it is from a meteorite. Wait. Okay, we haven't been here in a while. Yeah, so, we had to climb back up the hill to get here, and Gygus sent a bunch of his crazy alien monsters to try to stop us. Luckily, at this point in the game, Ness is basically God. So, we casually walk through it, get the meteorite, and we are back to the gang. Finally, with all the materials in hand, it's time to go fight Gygus. Yeah, so turns out, Andonauts waited until the very last second to tell us this. Organic living beings cannot time travel. So, and I'm not joking here, we have to surgically transfer our minds into robot bodies. And now it's time for the obligatory part of every JRPG where we walk for a while and we fight a bunch of enemies. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was not that interesting. And now, it's finally time. Hold on, can we cut the music for a second? Growing up, learning a lot about Earthbound, hearing about it from people around, there is one thing I always hear from people who have played the game. The ending is fucking nightmare fuel. I've seen moments, I've seen clips, but this is my first time truly experiencing whatever the hell the end of Earthbound is. What the hell is going on? All right, yeah, looks like I'm walking around on some internal organs. Nintendo game, by the way. Why is Ness's face on that amalgam of guts? Oh, hey, Porky. Oh. Porky has gone batshit insane. You know, I can't be surprised at this point. Yeah, okay, so see that thing with Ness's face on it? Yeah, that's Gygus. According to Porky, Gygus has become so rageful and evil that he literally cannot control himself anymore. And now Porky is helping Gygus because fucking of course he is. And so we begin our final fight. Jeff did most of the heavy lifting in the first phase. And with Porky on the ropes, he decides his only course of action is to unleash the true form of Gygus. Holy shit. Gygus becomes so unbelievably powerful that we can do absolutely nothing in our power to fight against him. So all we can do is pray. Pray to our friends, pray to our families, pray to our loved ones, the people who believed in us. Paula's family, Jeff's friends, Pooh's people, Nessa's mom and sister. I mean, hell, even Frank prays for us. Gygus is losing his mind, his anger is overtaking him, the love being shown, it's tearing him apart. And then, finally, Paula prays out to one more person. She prays to you, the player. I didn't bring it up because it's a very in-the-moment thing, but at one point in Earthbound, they ask the player to tell them their name. It's kind of like an out-of-nowhere thing and you don't really think about it, but it's used for this moment, where the game itself tells you to believe, to pray for these people that you've grown an attachment to this world that you've, over 30 hours, have gained such a love and such a care for, to believe that just a couple of kids can turn it all around and save the day. It's a really good moment, and with it, everything coming together all at once, Gygus becomes overtaken. The war against Gygus is over. you can tell that a lot of time's gone by because I got a haircut. Sorry that the set looks completely different. I'm home from college now, that's why. I wanted to wait until right before I upload this video to record this final conclusion section. Because, to be honest, even coming out of Earthbound and sitting down to finally write this whole video, I still feel like I didn't fully sink in everything I felt about this game. I want to end this video by talking about a trope in a lot of media that I think a lot of people would roll their eyes at even the statement of. I'm talking about the power of friendship. It's cliche, it's predictable, and let's be for real, it's completely been done to death. In Earthbound, that's the exact kind of story that it tells. And yet, in these final moments where I'm, once again, just a kid walking home to my family, sinking in everything that's taken place over the past 40 hours of gameplay, I don't cringe. This was something that I had to sit down with for such a long time and really try to understand what made Earthbound so different. And I think the conclusion that I finally came to after all this time is it's the fact that Earthbound doesn't care. It doesn't care if it's being stupid. It doesn't care if it's being corny. It doesn't care if it's being cliche. And every single moment, every single thing Earthbound does, it does it with 100% certainty. This game is so unapologetically corny, so unapologetically quirky and stupid and fun. I think I understand why this series is so beloved by so many people for such a long amount of time. I think that creative people like myself, we're always striving to create a piece of art that is completely what we want it to be. In a perfect world, no creative ever wants to falter the exact product they want to create just for the sake of their audience. And yet, many times, a lot of people find themselves still always, it's so hard not to consider the audience when you're creating a piece of entertainment. So I think a lot of people look at Earthbound as a piece of entertainment that didn't even think about that for a second. It doesn't care if you think it's stupid. It doesn't care if you think it's too silly or too dumb. It continues to just be itself through the entire 40 hours you play through it, never faltering for even a moment. I don't know if anything that I just said at all made any sense to anyone watching the video, but I feel like I had to at least say it. And at the end of the day, that's what made it such a good game. I don't know how to end the video, so we're just gonna, just like cut me off or something.